This does not smell right.
We always taught him to, if you go with a group, you stay with a group.
We're sinking. Can you all please come?
So why would he split from his group? I don't know.
None of the parents on the boat had reached out to them.
This is not how I wanted the world to meet my son, but here we are.
There's a lot of people that believe that it's obvious what actually happened here. Before we get into today's video, I just want to let you guys know that this video is for educational purposes only. Please remember to be kind to everybody everywhere, in your everyday life, in your home, in the grocery store, and especially in the comment section down below. Please do not show hate to anybody, anywhere. So good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing today? I hope you all are having an amazing day. I hope you all have had a wonderful week so far. I hope everybody is feeling good. So you guys, in today's video, this is a very highly requested video. You guys have been emailing me, DMing me all over the place to talk about this. And I've been following this case. And this is another one of those cases that unfortunately leaves a lot of people with more questions than answers.
My nose is out here. My eyes are here. My brain is here, which means some things I could smell before I could see and before I can figure out. This does not smell right.
And in this situation, you have family members and friends that are desperately seeking for answers. For those of y'all that don't know, Nolan Wells spent the 4th of July with his friends on what he thought was going to be the absolute funnest trip to an island for 4th of July with all of his friends. He's a high school student. I mean, they're going out on the boat, a blast, right? Sadly, the day took a devastating turn of events, and now his family and the people that love him are doing everything they can to figure out what exactly happened to him. And some new information has come out, even just since I've been researching all of this, that y'all may not have heard just yet, and we're going to talk about all of it today. Before we go any further, I did want to stop and thank today's sponsor, Quince. One thing I've really been trying to do lately is buy less, but buy better. I used to end up with like closet full of things that I did not really love, and if I do not love it, I will not wear it. And now I would much rather invest in more high quality items, like a few high quality pieces that I know I'm actually going to use and enjoy. That's one of the reasons why I have been loving Quince. Quince offers like elevated essentials for every part of life, from clothing to home goods and even cookware. They focus on premium materials, timeless designs, and really impressive quality without the luxury markup. And what I love is that Quince works directly with ethical factories and completely cuts out the middleman. So you are paying for the product itself and not some huge brand name attached to it. Everything feels thoughtful, made and designed to last. And personally, my favorite thing about Quince is that the pieces are simple, they're classic, and they're easy to use every day. These are the kinds of items that I find myself reaching for over and over again. And another great thing is that Quince is typically priced 50 to 80% less than similar luxury brands. So you can get that premium feel without the premium price tag. If you're looking to upgrade your summer essentials with quality that lasts, head on over to quince.com/Christina Randall for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. And Quince is available in Canada now too. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/Christina Randall for free shipping and 365-day returns. Thanks again, Quince. Now, before we get into everything, I need to remind y'all, I am not a professional. Everything in this video is alleged. I do not know any of these people. I pull all of my information from very public sources and news sources that is already out there, filter it through my own words and opinions. So please go do your own research and form your own opinions. Just don't show hate to anybody anywhere. So let's just start off by me telling y'all a bit about Nolan. So Nolan Wells is an 18-year-old from Ocean Springs, Mississippi. His parents are Christine and Elmore Wansley. Now, Nolan graduated from Ocean Springs High School just recently, where he was a football player and loved playing sports. He recently enrolled at Southwest Mississippi Community College, and he was actually getting ready to start his freshman football season there, where he is a wide receiver. And how exciting for him, playing football all these years during his youth and then going on to college and getting ready to play. Friends and family describe Nolan as very well liked, respectful, athletic, kind, easygoing. Even his high school football coach said that He was one of his best students. He got along with everybody. He had a great group of friends. People that knew him said that he could absolutely light up a room, and he was a great role model for those around him. His family says that he dreamed of playing Division I football one day. However, sadly, something completely unexpected happened. On July 4th of this year, 2026, Nolan went out with several of his friends on a boat to a place called Horn Island, which is actually this barrier island off of the Mississippi Gulf Coast. And according to some of Nolan's friends that were there with him that day, at around sometime between, there's a lot of different theories on this, but stick with me here, okay? Sometime between 3 and 4:30, Nolan's friends decided that they were ready to leave the island. So they're like, okay, we're gonna go. And Nolan was like, I'm not ready to go yet. Allegedly, he decided he was going to stay back on the island. And he supposedly told his friends that he was going to end up getting a ride on a boat with someone else later. So Nolan's group of friends left. Now, I need y'all to remember that, because there are so many rumors and theories from that aspect right there. And some new information has come out. Just stick with me here. Unfortunately, after Nolan's friends left, Nolan was never seen alive again. That evening at around 11 p.m., one of Nolan's friends called Nolan's mom to tell her what had happened, since Nolan hadn't been seen or heard from since his friends left him earlier that day. So his friends are on the boat with him. This is the short version for now. They're like, hey, we're going to leave. He's like, hey, I want to stay. They're like, okay, catch a ride, we'll see you later. They don't hear from Nolan. 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. They don't hear from Nolan, and one of them says, we better call his mom. So they call her, and as you can imagine, Nolan's mom was extremely concerned because she said that this was very unusual for her son. So she ended up immediately reporting him missing. Now, the very next day, and I cannot imagine that night for Nolan's mom, Christine, I bet she did not sleep a wink, not hearing from him or knowing what was going on. She started posting on social media asking for help to find her son. Meanwhile, the local sheriff's office started a search around the island with the Coast Guard and the United Cajun Navy. Now, Nolan's mom and dad went out to the island as well to help search, and Nolan's cell phone was found by Christine, Nolan's mom. She said that she used the Life 360 app on his phone and saw that his phone was actually on land at his friend's house. She said that when she got the phone back, she went through it and she saw that the phone had no pictures or videos from the 4th of July, which she thought was strange because she felt like pretty much, anybody Nolan's age these days, they're always taking lots of photos and videos, especially on Snapchat. Unfortunately, as the day went on, Nolan wasn't found. And I, again, cannot imagine how these parents were feeling, especially on the water, man. Like if they were just at a friend's house and they don't hear from him, they think maybe he started drinking. Maybe he's sleeping. Maybe he's passed out. Maybe he's, But the water situation, I just cannot imagine just how ill they felt. The search ended up being ended later that day, but it started back up the next morning. And this time they also had a helicopter searching for Nolan. On that day, which was July 6th, Nolan's body was found on the island, near the shoreline. The coroner said that there were no immediate signs of any kind of physical trauma, but an autopsy and toxicology testing were ordered because of the body's condition. Dental records did eventually confirm that the body found was Nolan's. And later that day, the sheriff told the media that no foul play was suspected. And you can only imagine, you guys, when they say no foul play that quick, people's antennas go up and say, well, how do you know? How do you know that there was no foul play? And I get it. And the parents, they want answers and they're desperate for any kind of answers. So this was kind of a turn in the case that people were surprised by. In the 2 days that it took to find Nolan, rumors were absolutely going crazy online. I mean, even Nolan's parents were starting to wonder if something bad had happened to him or there was foul play involved. They said in a press conference that when they went to go and get Nolan's cell phone from his friends, something seemed off.
But so our friend actually, when I called her, Nolan is best friends with her two sons, Jalen and Javon. When I called her, I said, Shima, have you seen Nolan? He's missing. No one has seen him. No one has talked to him. The boys were actually with her sons. So they opened up their Snapchat because a lot of the kids do have their locations where they're tracking one another. So one of the boys says, well, it's showing that I think I can't exactly remember what his location was showing, but my Life 360 location was showing something completely different. It was actually showing that his phone was like he was on land. And so we ended up, she received the phone from that parent, and then we met up where his car was, which was at a separate location. There were issues obtaining the key, but even so, there's just a lot of...
So tell them about the key.
So I'm going to let my husband tell you about that, because he actually went up to the door to get the key, because at that point, I was just not in my right mind. This has just been an awful situation, just terrible.
He walks off, 2 or 3 minutes, come back. I can't find the keys. I said, okay, so at that point, I get the boys and I get to move them out the house, because I didn't want them to go into the house and start tearing up these people's houses, because they'll never be a hold in the situation. So we walk outside by the car. One of the guys that was in the house with us, he was on the phone with a girl, and the girl told him that Nolan's keys were on top of this Jax guy's Xbox in the house, because apparently she was there with him earlier. So he goes back up to the door by himself, and 5 minutes later, the keys come out. So now I feel like you done lied to me. So now I'm really like in distress with you.
Now, I do want to say, I did see some people online saying that they didn't feel like the mom authentically wanted to say that maybe she was being encouraged by the people around her to say that, but you make your own decisions on what you think the body language was telling you. So Nolan's parents ended up hiring Ben Crump, a civil rights lawyer. He was there for that press conference, as you guys could see, and he too has questions about what happened to Nolan. The sheriff also did some interviews and said that he confirmed that one of Nolan's friends did report Nolan missing to the Coast Guard that night at 11 p.m.
ABC News confirming one of Wells' friends on the trip made a missing persons report to the Coast Guard around 11 p.m. that night. Wells' mother filing her own report with the sheriff department just after midnight. Authorities have said they believe Wells drowned, but the sheriff stressed their work is still ongoing to determine exactly what happened.
We're awaiting the state's autopsy report from the medical examiner's office.
Then Nolan's father said in an interview that he and Nolan's football coach actually took a boat out to that area where Nolan's body was eventually found, and they said that he was not there when they looked.
If I knew anyone who had a boat, I would have went out that night looking for my son. We tried, but I don't have friends with boats. But if I knew someone with one, I would have went out that night. And it so happened that his coach saw all the stuff on Facebook that next morning and contacted me at like 5 in the morning, asked me if he want to go out. And I told him yes. So within an hour, he was at the dock. We met him, and we went out. We docked the boat, got off the boat, walked on the island, walked a pretty nice stretch, came back, got back on the boat, went around the island, looked, came back around, and where we went to, that's where apparently they say that his body floated up. I don't know a lot about water currents or whatever, but I would think that we would have saw his body. And on the trip there was a family that stayed a night on the island, like actually tented out on the island. So if he was left, he would have saw that family on the island, and it was 2 other boats docked, so he would have had help.
Now, I do need to say that when you're dealing with water, this can be a factor. People's bodies, when they take on water, they can sink, and then it takes time for certain decomposition to start, and a lot of the times their bodies will stay underwater for 24 to 48 hours, and then they pop back up. But nevertheless, I can understand all the questions that they have. Then the Mississippi Free Press reported that a United Cajun Navy incident commander said that Nolan was last seen talking with a girl near the north end of the island. Some people believe that this would explain why Nolan wanted to stay behind instead of leaving with his friends at the time that they left. But a lot of people don't buy that, especially because Nolan's parents have said that Nolan was taught to always stay with his group.
We cannot answer. I can't fathom why he would.
I don't know why he would. We always taught him to, if you go with a group, you stay with a group. Even when he was in college, he would say, Dad, well, we're gonna ride down to a party or something in another city. Now, so I was out telling him, look, if you go with 5, you come back with 5. Do not separate from your group. Because I always said safety is in numbers. And he always said, yes, sir. So he knew to stay with his group. So why would he split from his group? I don't know.
Then the mother of one of the boys on that boat with Nolan, Ashley Cole, spoke out and said that her son and Nolan did choose to stay behind. So it wasn't just Nolan, it was him and a friend that chose to stay behind. And she also said that the other boys in the group decided to leave early because the boat started having issues and was taking on water. But some people even question this because that boy's mother, Ashley Cole, is a local judge, and some people find it strange that she would speak out on a case like this. Now, those rumors about that was flying, right? The boat taking on water, Well, just recently, audio has come out that reportedly shows Nolan's friends calling a private towing company for help because there was, in fact, an issue with their boat. Listen to this.
We're sinking. Can y'all please come?
And is everybody on board in good health otherwise?
Yeah, everybody's on board.
After making that post, Ashley said that she wasn't going to be making any more public statements because her family had been receiving all kinds of threats, as you guys can imagine. And again, some people found this suspicious.
Okay, guys, Warren's stepmom, the judge, says that they're willing to help now. Here's what Ashley Cole says. We have decided that we will not be speaking to the press at this time. The media is not the appropriate forum to further elaborate on the facts of July 4th, 2026. We realize that the truth will not stop calls. We have not had the opportunity to speak to the Wells-Wansley family or their attorney. However, we are willing to directly communicate with attorney Ben Crump and the Wells-Wansley family. We will provide them with all information known to us so their family can rest and properly mourn. We also want to know what happened to Nolan. We will do everything within our power to assist Nolan's family in their quest for answers. This comes shortly after Nolan Wells' mother, Christine, said that they had not reached out. None of the parents on the boat had reached out to them. Sounds like Ashley Cole and her family, they're willing to participate in the quest for answers. It did take them a week, but they're on board.
Then, according to Nolan's family lawyer, Ben Crump, the girl that Nolan was seen talking to on the island has told them that Nolan told her he was going to go back with that same group of friends. So to them, these statements from the girl and from one of the boy's mom, they seem to contradict each other. Then there was this picture going around that seemingly shows Nolan in a pool with his friends. And a lot of people believe that this picture was from the 4th of July and they took it as proof that Nolan made it back onto land.
So there's a picture going around that's getting a lot of attention that allegedly shows Nolan at a pool party at his friend's house before 1 a.m. on July 5th, the same night that he reportedly went missing and never returned from the island. And as you may remember, Nolan's parents said in their most recent press conference that when they checked his location on July 5th, he wasn't on the island anymore. And eventually one of Nolan's friend's moms tracked down his phone and brought it to her, but when she looked at it, there were deleted messages, deleted photos, and they even deleted his entire Snapchat history. So this photo was apparently posted on Nolan's friend Evan's Instagram, but later deleted. And in one of the comments under that photo, this person, Alasia Spencer, says she was also at that pool party and Nolan was there as well. She said that Evan did not get into a fight with his friends on the island. He actually came back from the island with his friends to Evan's house and then got into a fight with them. She said she saw his friends arguing with him. They then took his phone, and when he asked for it back, things got physical. And she later saw Nolan on the ground, gasping for air and spitting up blood. And of course, people started questioning her, saying, if you knew all of this, why didn't you notify police? And she said she did. That's how they got his phone, and his keys were on top of his Xbox. And of course, people asked if he was at the pool party, then how did his body get discovered on the island? And she said because his friends were trying to cover up what actually happened, but she knows the truth. And she said that the truth is that his friends took him back to the island the next morning around 4 a.m. on July 5th and just left him there before his body was discovered just hours later. And as you may remember, his parents said it was very suspicious that he was found right there on July 6th when they went to the island the day before on July 5th and searched there all day and found nothing. They also said that the girl that Nolan was with on the island said that Nolan had left her and said that he was gonna go back on his friend's boat, when his friends are claiming that he stayed back to talk to her. So clearly, one of them is lying.
There's also this video that's going around, and some people are saying that it shows Nolan and his group of friends having a heated argument. Some people even believe that they can hear Nolan yelling, asking for his phone. Now, according to Ben Crump, Nolan's family lawyer, he said that between that video and what the girl Nolan was talking to said from the island, there are some major contradictions to this story.
Well, the fact that they continue to tell the family that we don't see any evidence of any foul play, even though you have students who recorded an altercation while they were on the boats of argument where you had Nolan and somebody yelling at one another on the boat. So that's an issue. And then you have the young lady make a statement and she says, well, Nolan and I finished talking and Nolan said he was going back to the boat. And then the boys on the boat said, no, Nolan told them he was going to stay with her. And so they are conflicting. She's saying he went and got on the boat. They saying he didn't get on the boat. So which is it? And all we know is Nolan is.
And a lot of people have also pointed out that if Nolan was really planning on staying on that island, why wouldn't he grab his phone out of the boat before his friends left? Well, recently one of Nolan's friends has since come out and said that that voice that you hear in the background of the video is his voice. It's not Nolan's. He also clears up the rumors that are going around about why there were no pictures or videos on Nolan's phone from that day. And he says that it's because they were in the water and everyone left their phones in the boat. This friend also says that that pool picture is actually from June 27th and not from July 4th.
Trayston Shepard declined to speak with us on camera because he says he and his friends are getting threats.
We did no wrong here, and we don't understand how we're getting so much hate behind it. We all cared and loved Nolan, and nobody wanted to see Nolan die. That's the video I'm referring to. That's me yelling. They met that day, and it was kind of one of those things. It did come off that day that he really did like her, but that was the only time they've ever hung out was at Horn Island on July 4th. I want everybody just to relax and let everybody mourn the loss of Nolan. And let us remember him as in, like, the sweet guy. I think everybody needs to let the investigation continue and let the facts be shown.
But now, some people close to the family are saying that this alleged friend was not actually a close friend of Nolan's at all.
Service Sam here, and something is just not sitting right with me with this Trayston Shepard. He said nobody wanted to see Nolan. No one wanted to see anything happen to him. Well, saying that, it almost implies that you saw something. And he also said that he was a close friend of Nolan's. But Christine Walmsley, Nolan's mother, said she doesn't even have any clue who he is. And why would he be reaching out to all these news outlets but hasn't spoken to the family yet? And then he makes this odd statement. To all media outlets, please be advised that I will no longer be granting interviews to any additional reporters. My intention was to speak truthful regarding the situation. I have established direct contact with the necessary individuals should further clarification be required to address any misinformation. Moving forward, I will only be communicating with the two reporters with whom I am currently engaged. I apologize to anyone expecting a more extensive story. My priority remains advocating for myself, my friends, and justice for Nolan. Well, it sounds like he didn't like what everybody was saying once he started to tell a story that didn't seem to make much sense.
So as of now, investigators have not exactly announced a cause or a manner of, but they did acknowledge the rumors that are going around. And the sheriff has also said that all of Nolan's friends who were on that trip, that boat trip with him that day, are all cooperating with law enforcement. And since then, Christine said that she's having Nolan's body sent to Washington, D.C. for her own private autopsy to be done by someone who has absolutely no ties to anybody local in the area. And I think that that's a great idea, and hopefully it'll give her some sort of direction or peace of mind. She also said that she's having an independent forensic testing done on Nolan's cell phone, and I think that that's a great idea as well. Ben Crump has also said that he and Nolan's parents are meeting with the DA, and that the DA told him that once the investigation is over, she'll turn the case over to a grand jury to inspect as well. Now, Nolan's family has created a GoFundMe. I will leave it linked down below if you feel called to give and if you have it to give, but I'm going to tell y'all what I think with the information that we have as of now. And today is that I'm filming this for y'all Thursday, July 16th. Of 2026. I don't know what exactly happened to him. I'm waiting to see the autopsy. There's a lot of rumors that are going around that he didn't have water in his lungs, but I don't see anything professional that has been linked that has said that. I just see the rumors online. But what I don't think as of now is that his friends that were on the boat with him did something. And if they did not, I feel terrible for them, because if they did not have something to do with it, if the boat was taking on water, like they said, and I even seen people online saying, why would they call a towing service instead of emergency services? Because that's what you do when you have a boat that's taking on water. Most of us that have boats, we have that $99 a year thing. And if you need a tow, if you run out of gas, if you've taken on water, you call them and they bring a boat out to get you. You can't call the police. Police can't drive their car out into the water and get you. You need a boat towing service, and they called exactly who they were supposed to call. Their boat was taking on water, and that's why they allegedly left. Nolan wanted to stay and hang out and allegedly stayed with that other friend whose mom, Ashley, spoke out. But these boys are getting so much hate. They're being called suspected of doing something to him, when if all of this information that we have now is true, they didn't. At the very least, they didn't. As a matter of fact, their high school coach spoke out and said that it was a close-knit community and they all got along and everything was great.
Nolan was a great young man, you know, with a big personality. Everybody gravitated to Nolan because of his smile. He just wanted everybody to be happy, and he was a joy to coach, a joy to be around. To sum Nolan up, you know, long story short, Nolan is a guy that I would let date my daughter. No, I don't think it was no intention at the school, you know, from my experience. Because you have, you know, predominant white school, you have black kids there, and they all, you know, played and grew up together and got along. Now, you know, some stuff might have happened that I didn't see. So, you know, I can't speak wholeheartedly on it, but from what I did see, it was a tight-knit community, you know what I mean?
However, I did want to add that, in my opinion, again, from just the information that we have right now, somebody knows something. Something happened to him. He wasn't out there, in my opinion, with all these people and he just wandered off and floated off down the river. Did he jump? Did they have rope swings? I mean, our rivers, we have like rope swings and stuff like that. Did he hit his head? Did something else happen? Did he think he was getting a ride with somebody that was his friends and they weren't his friends? Like somebody that he met there? Was he drinking a lot and something happened? I mean, the amount of boating accidents that I know of just from people close to me. I mean, my grandpa's brother lost the fingers on his hand from a boat. You know how you put your hands over the side of the boat, bumping up against another boat, and the fingers were immediately gone. I mean, accidents happen so easily. I know people that dove into water and did not realize how shallow it was, and their lives are forever changed. I mean, boating accidents, things on the water can happen so quickly. But what it seems like is something definitely happened, though. What does not make sense to me is that he stayed back and that he just drowned. Nobody seen him. Nothing happened. Nothing. Something, did he pass out? Was he drinking? Did he pass out on the island and then everybody left and then he woke up and he tried to swim? And something happened. Somebody knows something. And right now, again, I don't think it is the friends that he rode there with. Seems like they didn't have anything to do with it, but somebody has to know something. So I don't know. What do y'all think? Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. Other than that, I pray to God, please, Lord, let his family get some answers. I just cannot imagine how bad they're hurting. And again, I'm going to put that GoFundMe down below if you guys want to and you feel inclined and you have anything to give, $5, $1, whatever, please do. But yeah, let me know what y'all think. Other than that, I love you guys. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Love you guys. Bye.